Hey guys, this is going to be the first ever PvP video for me covering this game since the first anniversary. I have 4,000 videos on this channel covering Dragon Ball Legends. This is going to be the very first video where we get to experience the game without the existence of Perfect Vanish. So the current Legends Battle Royale season, we can go ahead and take a look at the special rules here. So number one is reduces ki and vanish engage when moving backwards. This is something that they tested in the prior season, and I would say mostly negative results came out of that. What they did was they tweaked this feature to reduce the severity at which you are penalized for backfloating, essentially, is how they changed that. So the actual penalization is still there, but it's just less severe. The second rule is really where this video comes into play and what I'm going to be most interested in testing. This is a change that I have personally been pushing for many years at this point. I think the concept and the existence of Perfect Vanish has sort of had a stranglehold over this game for many, many years. Obviously, it's been in the game since the game released, and I don't really know if it, since day one really had this big of an impact, but very much so over the course of the past at least 4 years or so, Perfect Vanish has dominated the game and shaped the way that the game has been played. So I'm going to be interested in seeing how this works because, let's just read this. A recovery period will occur after evading mid or long range attacks with a Perfect Vanish, aka if you Perfect Vanish at mid or long range, it sounds like your opponent is going to be able to get out of that. So it is no longer, quote unquote perfect. I honestly think they should just change the wording on that, but it sounds like Perfect Vanish is just no longer going to exist in mid and long range. Now, there's a lot of implications with this. I think one of the bigger ones is going to be long range blue cards. You typically don't see high-level players going with just, spamming blue cards at long range over and over and over again because you can get PV'd. If you can no longer get PV'd at long range by spamming blue cards at long range, I think you could just throw a character like Ultimate Gohan on your team and you just sit in the back spamming blue cards over and over and over again, and there's very little downside to doing that. But I'm going to be interested in seeing how this works. We'll test this out. Unfortunately, they continue to insist on testing these battle system changes. Again, I would say this is probably the single most important and biggest battle system change I've ever considered implementing. They insist on us testing these changes in Legends Battle Royale mode, which of course only limits us to 4 plays per day. So we're only going to get 4 opportunities to do this, and I would say that most likely all 4 of these attempts are going to be very low quality in terms of the matches. But my focus for this session here, we can go ahead and start queuing up. My focus for this session is going to be just to try and get as many Perfect Vanishes as possible to see sort of how the interaction works, because we can read about it, but it's not, you're not really going to feel and understand how it works until we actually experience it. All right, so this guy has one good game. He's got a team that I have no idea what's going on. Yeah, this is the problem with this mode. This is the problem with testing major changes, game-defining balance changes in the mode like this. This is what I'm. This is not going to provide any valuable or useful data to the developers. This is not even going to allow me to sufficiently test the change. So I mean, we'll queue in here. The reason why I'm bringing the Fusion Warrior team is because Gotenks is going to be able to restore his Vanish engage a lot, which will allow us to just get more opportunities to Perfect Vanish the opponent. That's why I'm doing this. So we'll see. This is also going to present an opportunity where we can just be more aggressive and we could take the initiative more often because we don't have to be worried about getting Perfect Vanish. I'm going to take a lot of time to get used to this. If this is something they are going to be implementing in the future, I mean, we're talking 6 years of muscle memory that I'm going to have to sort of get readjusted to here. Why don't we just start with a blast? You can't Perfect Vanish it. Now, this is the problem too with Blast Armor. Blast Armor I think is going to become a lot more powerful with this change. We can try going with this. Okay, because he couldn't PV that. All right, I don't want to just like crush this guy immediately. So I'm actually like intentionally going to stop the combo here. All right, yeah, so, okay. You can see it reduced my Vanish when moving back a little bit. All right, so let's get this in here. Okay, so let's see. Let's try moving back and see how fast does it actually deplete the Vanish. It's very slight, yeah. Let's try and PV this guy. Okay, that was just not registering my side step. All right, PV. All right, he's doing the same thing every time. Come on. Just want to get this PV in. Okay. So he looks like he sidesteps twice and then goes for a card. So let me... That's it. Okay, that's still going to work, obviously. Okay, he went for a strike there. It definitely did feel a little bit delayed going for my attack, which is, I guess, what the intention is, right? There's the PV. And he can vanish it, yeah. There it is. That is, yeah, that is the change right there. That's a perfect illustration of what they were trying to go for with this change. All right, we'll go to you for this. So I mean, we can just go with attacks here. We don't really need to worry about him PVing. Let's go. Like he PVs us. Okay, I don't know why he went for another dodge there. And then we PV'd him. Now, remember, perfect vanishes are still active and in play in melee range, aka in close range. So you can still jump. You can still wait for the opponent to jump and then attack. Like, there's still a lot of strategy that's going to have to be considered in close range, because that's not going to change. The removal of the perfect vanish feature is only with regards to mid and long range. Okay, here's a PV. Wow, that, yeah, you can tell there's a delay on that. So, what was I gonna say? If you go for... Here's another PV. Okay, yeah, he vanishes it. Huh. Yeah, I mean, again, I did talk about this in my video where I was initially discussing the change, but... I don't feel like this is really a change you can just make in a vacuum without adding some other changes into the game, right? I think we can just kill this guy here. Just to reiterate with what I said in the prior video, this is not a change I think they can just make and then just, like, not do anything else. This is not something that I think they should just implement or even consider implementing without other supplementary or complementary changes at the same time. I'll just tell you guys right now, if they're going to put this in the game, I definitely don't think they need this first rule. I think they can just straight up remove this. I think both of these rules strive to accomplish the same thing. They're both trying to disincentivize reactive gameplay or passive gameplay. And in turn, doing so will incentivize aggressive or proactive gameplay. So I don't think they need to double up on this, because the interests of these rules together are aligned. So they don't need to double up on it. I think they could just not have this be in the game. If they're going to have Perfect Vanish not, you know, be a thing anymore from mid and long range. So again, I think if they're going to implement this, before they fully go ahead and do this, I think they're going to have to hold at least 2 to 3 more sort of testing seasons or testing layers to allow us to see what other kinds of changes work well with this change. Because clearly there's going to be a lot of problems that present themselves as a result of this being implemented. Okay, this person definitely seems a lot more competent than the last person does. He has 2,000 good games. He's using Boo Saga. Even in... I can't escape Boo Saga even in battle royale mode. All right, so we'll just try and play this normally. I'll stick with my normal, you know, way of playing. I think he's just going for the ultimate go-on strategy where you just... Yeah, see? Oh, he didn't even go for it. Where we just... He's just going to launch blues the whole game, I guess is what he's going to try and do here, right? All right, let's just do this, just to get the gauge charge right up. I don't know why he's not switching characters. You forget how to play the game? Okay, is he going to forfeit right away? No, he didn't. Oh, he did. Yeah, okay. Again, another great example of why this is a horrible, horrible environment to test these changes. Do you guys think this match presented a lot of useful data to the development team? Do you guys think this was a very valuable match? This is a waste of time for me. This is a waste of time for the developers. What did this accomplish? This is the Legends Battle... What is the exact name? This is the... They don't even put the name on here. Hold on, it'll tell me in the news here. This is the Legends Battle Royale Battle Balance Test. What precisely did we test right there? Can anybody tell me what exactly did we test in that match? Can anybody elaborate on that? All right, so I finished my other 2 matches. Neither match really allowed me to even test the change. One was insanely laggy. I couldn't even move. And then the other one was just a new player or someone who didn't know how to play the game. So unfortunately, this is the way that they have relegated their testing system to us in putting it in this Legends Battle Royale mode, which is just terribly designed. It's terribly managed. Nothing about this mode is actually good for the purpose of testing adjustments to the battle system. This is literally the worst possible environment they could have picked to test battle system changes. If they want to designate a mode at testing updates, then there is one place to do that, and that is ranked PvP. That's where they need to test these changes. That's honestly the biggest takeaway for me from this video, and this is not something that I didn't expect, because I talked about this in the last video where, you know, why on earth? Who in their right mind on the team thought that this was a good idea to test this change in Legends Battle Royale? There cannot be a single sane person that came up with that idea. That is a terrible idea. I couldn't have one normal match to test the change. I mean, we saw the change. We saw how it, you know, interacted with the existing battle system. And obviously, yeah, it does work the way we thought it would be, where when you perfect vanish somebody at mid and long range, it does in fact allow the opponent to vanish. But this is not an environment where we can sufficiently test this change. So I don't even see how they're going to be able to test this in this way, right? I mean, I could do the rest of my 20 matches. I would wager maybe 2 of the 20 matches in total that we're able to do in this mode are actually going to have any sufficient data points that will provide some sort of value to the development team in terms of if they would want to go ahead with this change or not. And that is just horrible. That is beyond horrible. That's very bad. So the change itself, it seems interesting. I think they're going to need a lot more time with it. But again, the problem for me is they're sabotaging their own change. We can't test it. This is not an environment where we can test the change. So hopefully they just implement this into a future PvP season, or they have, again, I think what they should do is run a parallel season with ranked mode, have it be a separate ladder, have it be ranked, have it provide rewards. Every time you play the game, or every time you play, you know, the testing ladder system, you get CC, you get like this, I don't know, exchange coins, medals, whatever, and have it have its own reward system to incentivize people to play that mode over just standard ranked PvP. But this is, I mean, this is just, there's no other word for it. It's incompetence. It is beyond incompetent for them to be promoting playtesting in this mode, because this is a terrible way to test this. We can't even, like, we get 4 attempts per day at this mode. We have 4 attempts per day at this mode, and all 4 attempts today for me were worthless. I was not able to sufficiently test this update. So how are we supposed to play test this? It is a mystery. It is a mystery. So anyway, we were able to show what the change is. I don't think we were able to collect any sufficient information in terms of if it's good or not good for the game. I don't know. We can't test it. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you all in the next one.